Hi everyone, and thank you very much for watching. This is me, Mr. P, and this is another episode in a self-hosted lab series. In this episode, I will show you what LubeLogger is, how to use it, and how you can self-host it inside Docker container. So let's begin. LubeLogger is a self-hosted, open-source, web-based vehicle maintenance and fuel mileage tracker. LubeLogger will allow you to enter data about your car, like repairs, expenses, fuel fill-ups, and etc. And then looking at the graphs, you will be able to see which car is more expensive to run, which car breaks more often, and etc. So first of all, how LubeLogger functions. I will go to my LubeLogger setup that is currently running inside my Galaxy Proxmox cluster. And as you can see, I have one vehicle entered, which is 2012 Skoda Yeti, aka the tank. And if I'll click on that, I'll be presented with the dashboard with all the information about this car, how it's expensive or how it's cheap to run. On the left hand side, I have all-time chart, the pine chart, and it's showing me that in total I used 5,182 pounds to fill up my car. I can actually go and choose what year I want to go and check. For example, 2018, I used 996. What about 2023? That's 867, and etc. By changing the year, these two graphs will change as well. So if I'll go and choose 2023, I can see that the most expensive and the distance traveled is December, and the most fuel mileage miles per gallon economical month was April, and not so much was December and May. There's more tabs here at the top. I can choose planner. So planner is what I'm planning to do to the car, what I've been doing, what's been tested, etc. I can enter odometer records. If you have, let's say, a rental business where you have a couple of cars that you're renting them out, you can log all the mileage that the cars traveled in here, and you'll know which car is more popular depending how many miles it's traveled, and etc. Service records, pretty much self-explanatory. You enter the service records here, same with the repairs and upgrades. The fuel is probably the most important tab out of all of them. This is where I enter the data about my fill-ups, how much diesel I put into my car. At the top, in the blue background bubble, I can see that average fuel economy is 39.8 of my Skoda Yeti. The worst one is 23.2, and the best one is 68.4. Totally, I filled up 821 liters of diesel, which cost me 5,182 pounds and a couple of pence. And in total, I have 102 records added into this list. By the way, you can add the records by importing it as CSV file. You can do that by clicking on this triangle and choose import CSV, which will allow you to download the sample file, which you can use it to arrange the data of the exported data to match what you need to import. As you can see, a message here showing that in order for this utility to function properly, your CSV file must be formatted exactly how it's provided in a sample file. This is what I did. I went and exported all the data from my previous mileage tracking app, and I just went and imported, and this is how I have all these years going back. LubeLogger is probably about a year and a half old service, but I am able to import all of them going all the way back to 2018. Back to the tabs where you have supplies for your parts for the car, taxes, notes, and reminders. So right now, let's go and set it up the LubeLogger. Let's go into a GitHub and scroll up a bit to find the Docker Compose file. So we're going to use this Docker Compose file to get this running. Not everything will be used from this Docker Compose file. I will simplify a bit because not everything is needed for me to use this program. So I'm going to click this a couple of times to make sure it's copied, and then I'll open a new tab and jump straight away into a Portainer. We're going to use a Portainer to get this running. You can obviously use terminal if you want to go and set it up terminal, go via terminal and create a docker-compose.yml file. I'm going to click Docker Sandbox, click on a stacks, and click Add Stack. And in here, I will enter LubeLogger-YT as the name for the stack, and then paste the content. Oops, that's not the page. This is just the Linux asking for password, and I'm going to paste this one in here. If you're running the most recent Docker Compose version and the Portainer version, you don't need to specify version number anymore. So you can start straight away with the line services. So we're going to go over this line of this Docker Compose file, and I'll delete some of the things that I don't need. So we're going to create services, and we're going to create the service app. We're going to use official LubeLogger Docker image, the latest version. We don't need to build this anymore because we already have an image ready. Restart unless stopped means that the Docker engine will restart the container if you restart the VM. So if you have a Linux VM or you have a LXC container with the Docker and you set up the restart unless stopped, Docker will restart this container if you restart that VM or LXC container. Next, there is a comment saying volumes used to keep your data persistent. I will go and delete that comment because I don't need the comment here. And instead pointing to Docker volumes, I will point to actual location inside the host. To do that, I need to open SSH client and I need to go and log in into my Docker VM. I will do that by typing SSH and providing the username, and then it's going to ask me for the password. So I'm going to log in. As you can see, I'm logged in into a Docker sandbox. I will navigate into a directory called Docker, and inside here I have another directory, Portainer. This is what the Portainer is running. I will create a new directory called LubeLogger and change directory into LubeLogger. And now I'll type pwd, which stands for print working directory, and copy this location like that and go back into a Portainer. While I'm in Portainer, it's just before config, I will Control V, paste the line, and I'll add the / and I'll copy all that. So now I can paste that in front of all these records to point every single one of them into the location on the host side. And they all will be pointing to a home, Mr. P, Docker, LubeLogger, / and then the directory like config, data, translations, and etc. etc. Expose ports and or use your service via traffic. I don't use traffic. I use I use Cloudflare Tunnel, not Google Tunnel, Cloudflare Tunnel. If you want to find out more about Cloudflare Tunnel, I leave a link to my video in description below, which will give you idea what the Cloudflare Tunnel is, how to set up, how to use it, and why it's very useful for the home lab owners for your home lab. So port 8080, if you have a Docker container that already uses port 8080, you need to change number on the left hand side. So if it doesn't, you don't have any container that is already using a port 8080, you just leave like this. Let's say I do have a container, let's say Pi-hole, for example, running on port 8080. So in this case, I need to change to something that is free. In my case, let's say 8338 is free. env file, I'm not going to use env file in this video. env file will contain your region information, and if you want to use SMTP. As I'm using this for personal use, I don't need to really set up SMTP, but the env file contains this information. You can copy those into a Docker Compose file and use them as environments if you want to specify what kind of language you want to use inside the service, SMTP, and do you want to actually show log defaults, errors, and etc. As I don't need env file, I will delete that, and I will delete the volumes as well, as I'm set up the pointing to a host location instead of using Docker volumes. So for my lengthy Docker Compose file, we're down to 15 lines. Everything looks okay, so I will scroll down a bit and press deploy the stack. So Docker will go and check if the image exists. If it doesn't exist, it will go and download the official LubeLogger image. Everything is done and a stack is deployed. I can click on a stack name and I will be presented with a page where I can see the container name that is running. Everything is okay. Running is showing that it's okay. Running in green color. I can go and check the logs if I want to see what's going on with the logs. Everything looks okay. No errors showing up. I can go back and click on the port 8338 or just enter the IP address of my Docker VM. In my case, it's ending 163.8338. And here we are. We're inside the LubeLogger dashboard. Straight away, I'll go into settings and turn dark mode on. Inside the settings page, you can choose or can switch on and off quite a few things. First of all, by default, enable CSV import is turned on. This is the one that I showed you that you can import your old data. You still need to just make sure that it's on. Maybe in upcoming future updates to this Docker container, this feature will be off by default. So just have a quick look once you're setting up if it's definitely on, if you want to use CSV file to import the data in. You can choose US, UK, MPG calculations if you want to. You can replace zeros with just dashes. You can sort a list in the descending order, and etc. Visible tabs, these are the tabs that you can hear at the top. You can see at the top here. So planner, order, etc. So let's say I don't want to see reminders or notes or taxes. I don't want to see, yeah, let's just see leave, repair, upgrades, and fuel. You can create or restore from the backups. Choose the default tab that is opens as soon as you load, or change the language here. Right now, everything looks okay, so I'm going to click back into a garage. I will click on the plus sign, and I can go and start adding the new vehicle. So let's say it is 2020 model, let's say Tesla, Model Y, for example. I don't know, let's say license plate will be Tesla, why not? Fuel type, I will use gasoline, diesel, electric. Let's say I choose electric or diesel. You can pick whatever you want depending on the vehicle. I will choose diesel even if I select a Tesla. Odometer adjustments. Let's say if your vehicle is not new, you haven't bought it with a literally 0,000 miles on the clock, you can add them here and adjust this starting number from setting up the vehicle. And then you can upload the picture of the vehicle. Everything looks okay to me, so I'm going to click add new vehicle. Vehicle has been added, so I can go and click on this card. And right now the dashboard pretty much says no data found in all the places. So let's go and put some data in. I'm going to click on fuel and click add gas record. So let's say yesterday, which we're going to click on the calendar icon, and we can choose 16th. Odometer was showing 100. I filled up 50 liters. And everything cost me 25 pounds. And I can add notes if I want to, or attach the image of the receipt. I can actually put the tags as well if I want. Missed fuel fill up, skip MPG calculation. If you've missed entering the previous fill up, you just enter this and it's automatically will ignore the previous one and then do a bit of math magic behind the scenes to calculate the correct MPG. So I'm going to click add new gas record. So the first gas record has been added. Let's add another one for today. So I'll pick 17th of November. So right now it is 125 miles driven. I filled up for, let's say, 15. And I paid, let's say, £6 and press add a gas. So right now both of these added. So the LubeLogger calculates that my mileage is 1.67 miles per gallon. So it's not that great. If I'll go into a dashboard, I can see that right now information starting to show up here, depending on what kind of data has been entered. I can see that in November, I done 31 pounds in total of the expenses, and the most economical month so far is November, and etc. Let's go into the repairs and click add the repair record. Let's say I had to, odometer is 175, and I say changed water pipe. Why not? Just type the description of the repair you did. How much it cost me? It cost me quite expensive change. It was £550, and I click add a new repair. So that's been added. I can go back in a dashboard and I can see that right now most expensive thing so far is a repair and not the fuel. December shoot up to 581. And November shoot up to 581 as the expenses and distance traveled, and November is pretty much still the most economical month. If I go and click on this icon, vehicle maintenance report, it will give me the printable report sheet that I can go and print and attach to, let's say, car logbook, and it gives me exactly what's happened to the car, and if you add more services, more repairs, etc., this prints up. So LubeLogger is quite useful if you have more than one car, or you have a company that, let's say you have rental cars, you can generate these kind of reports if it need be. So close that, and pretty much that is it. This is a LubeLogger, very easy to set up, very easy to use, self-hosted service that you can run inside even a Raspberry Pi. And you can go and start adding cars, adding vehicles, electric vehicles, and etc. And then just fill up the data more and more, and then you will be able to see which car is more expensive to run, which car breaks a lot, which parts are more expensive, which supplier sells the most expensive parts, and etc. So it helps you to keep an eye on all the transport that you own. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please consider subscribe or just click a like button. I read every single comment, so if you have any questions or suggestions, etc., you can leave a comment just below the description. And like always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.